Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
We go back 75 years to hear Peter Lorre in an episode of Mystery in the Air, September 18th, 1947, The Black Cat. We thank you for tuning in on this Sunday, 18th day of September, 261st day of the year, 104 days remaining until we get to 2023. Congress passing the Fugitive Slave Act on this date in 1850, which required the return of escaped slaves to their owners, I should say. In 1851, the first edition of the New York Daily Times, which later became the New York Times. The Columbia Broadcasting System, founded on this date in 1927 by William S. Paley. The National Security Act, which unified the Army, Navy, and Air Force, passed in 1947. Secretary General of the UN, Dag Hammarskjöld, killed in a plane crash in northern Rhodesia.
In keeping with the spirit which typified the dedicated efforts of Mr. Hammarskjöld, the Secretariat is carrying on with a full sense of its duty. May I add that I am sure I interpret the feeling of all my colleagues and all our fellow workers in this House and wherever the United Nations is at work in the cause of peace, to say that this is a tragic loss for the United Nations, for the cause of peace everywhere, and for humanity.
I know that I'm speaking for all of my fellow Americans, expressing our deep sense of shock and loss in the untimely death of the Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Dag Hammarskjöld. Dag Hammarskjöld's dedication to the cause of peace, his untiring labors to achieve it, his courage under attack, his willingness to accept all responsibility in trying to strengthen the United Nations and make it a more effective instrument for the aspirations of the hundreds of millions of people around the globe who desire to live out their lives. Those efforts of his are well known. It is tragic and ironical that his death came during a mission he was undertaking in order to bring a ceasefire in Katanga. I am hopeful that the members of the United Nations, recognizing his untiring labors, will attempt in the coming sessions and in the years to come to try to build the United Nations into the effective instrument for peace, which was Dag Hammarskjöld's great ambition. I express my sympathy to his country, the government of Sweden, and I hope that all of us will recognize the heavy burden his passing places upon us.
Brazilian Undersecretary for Public Information H. Tavares de Chá, followed by President Kennedy. Hammarskjöld, 56 questions remain to this date about that plane crash. It was on this date in 1999, Sammy Sosa became the first player in Major League Baseball history to hit 60 home runs in 2 seasons.
2-2. Hit deep to center. Grissom back. 60!
The call from WGN Television, Sosa would repeat the feat in 2001, becoming the only player to have hit 60 or more home runs in a single season 3 times. The first mailing of anthrax letters from Trenton, New Jersey on this date in 2001, in the 2001 anthrax attacks. Among those passing away on this date in history, actor Frank Morgan, actor, singer, producer Francois Tone, also Jimi Hendrix, director, producer, screenwriter Russ Meyer, and Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. This is the birth date of Rochester, Eddie Anderson.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Columbia Broadcasting System invites you to sit back, relax, and listen to Eddie Anderson in the private life of Rochester Van Jones. Rochester, you look sad. What's the trouble?
I've got a problem. It looks like I'm going to lose my girl, Susie. She's been having dates with another fella.
He's making pretty good time with her, huh?
Time and a half. And double time on Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays. Mm-mm.
An excerpt from an audition show that never did make air about Rochester. Eddie Anderson, born on this date in history. Swedish actress Greta Garbo, actor Jack Warden. Jimmy Rogers, kisses sweeter than wine. Comedian Fred Willard, very funny man. Actor James Gandolfini. And voice actress June Foray.
Yes, well, just where are you from? I mean, what manner of...
I am Miss Jupiter. I was chosen out of 10,000 girls on our planet.
Miss Jupiter? Why, that's amazing.
Why? Look, the contest was called Miss Universe, right?
Right.
So how come they wouldn't let me in?
Well, you got a point there.
That's my antenna.
Oh, so it is, yeah. Look, Miss Jupiter, how did you get here?
I flew my saucer down. What do you think?
Yes, I see it there. Why don't you climb all the way out of it?
I have climbed all the way out of it. I parked it outside.
Yes, but those wheels. What about those wheels?
Those wheels, as you so indelicately put it, happen to be my best feature. Some girls got curly antennas. Other girls got cute suction cups. I got shapely wheels.
Very, very delightful voice actress June Foray, born on this date in history. Beretta Robert Blake is 89, the man who sang about Oh Venus. Frankie Avalon, 82 years old today. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't he in the original Grease? Or, yeah, the original Grease as well. 82 years old today is Frankie Avalon. Kansas singer Carrie Livgren, 73. Dr. Ben Carson, 71. From 21 Jump Street, Holly Robinson Pete, 58. Saturday Night Live alumnus Jason Sudeikis is 47. From New Edition and Belle Biv DeVoe, Ricky Bell, 55. From Talk Soup and Whose Line Is It Anyway, Aisha Tyler, 52. Mrs. Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, 51. Cyclops and the X-Men star James Marsden is Cyclops in the X-Men, James Marsden, 49. And Kevin Jonas's wife, Danielle Jonas, is 36. Those some of the people celebrating the 18th day of September is their birthday. If this is your birthday...
Hi, we're the Four Freshmen, and we just want to say, Happy birthday to you!
From 75 years ago, September 18, 1947, Peter Lorre in Mystery in the Air. That's up next on this Sunday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Attention Walmart shoppers. Now you can order one of the most advanced hearing aids on the market for hundreds, not thousands of dollars. Hearing Assist's most advanced product lineup includes models that use an exclusive app for enhanced control over what you want to hear. It's perfect if you have a smartphone or iPhone to hear everything better. And we have two great ways for you to get one. You can call the number at the end of this ad and order directly. Or you can call this same number and we will text you a complete list of Walmart Vision Center locations. We make it easy for you to hear better. Remember, call this number today to order and have a text message instantly sent to your phone to find the Walmart Vision Center near you. Here's that special number.
Call 800-360-0597. 800-360-0597. 800-360-0597. That's 800-360-0597.
Here you're going to see a prime example of how, on the fly, they cut 30 seconds out of a script because of a news bulletin. Peter Lorre, Mystery in the Air, 75 years ago today, September 18th, 1947, The Black Cat.
The National Broadcasting Company delays this program to bring you a special bulletin. From the NBC newsroom in New York, the hurricane raging across the Gulf of Mexico is now expected to strike inland again early tomorrow. The center of the storm hitting the coast of Louisiana 100 miles south of New Orleans. Thousands of refugees are now streaming inland from exposed coastal spots in the storm-threatened area, which extends from western Florida to Louisiana. This bulletin came to you from the NBC newsroom in New York. Keep tuned to your NBC station for the later news.
Mystery in the Air, starring Peter Lorre.
And it is the sentence of this court that you be hanged by the neck until you are dead. And may God have mercy on your soul.
No, I neither expect nor solicit belief for this wild story. I would be mad to expect it yet. Mad I'm not, and very surely I do not dream. But while there is still time, I don't know why I feel compelled to report a series of mere household events and their consequences. These events have terrified, have tortured, have destroyed me. Perhaps some are more calm, more logical, but certainly far less excitable than I will be able to explain them. I cannot. I can only tell you the facts, and that I have to do today because tomorrow I die.
Each week at this time, Peter Lorre in the excitement of the great stories of the strange and unusual, of dark and compelling masterpieces culled from the four corners of world literature. Tonight, Edgar Allan Poe's immortal American classic, The Black Cat.
Mystery in the Air, starring Peter Lorre.
No, believe me, there was nothing, absolutely nothing in my childhood which forecast the terrible events that were to come. No, as a child, I was very gentle. I got along well with everyone, but most I liked animals, yes. All kinds of animals. And then I married quite young, and I was very happy to find that my wife shared my feelings. Very soon we had quite a collection. Oh, we had birds and goldfish. We had a dog and some rabbits, and we had a cat. I'll never forget the day my wife brought it home. Hello. You're home so early.
Look, Charles, look. Look what I brought.
Oh, look at it. Oh, the little kitty. Where did you get it, darling?
Oh, the poor little thing. Some dogs were chasing it, and I just rescued it in time.
Yes,
it was so frightened.
Yes, but it isn't frightened anymore.
Oh, it seems to love you, Charles. But then that's not strange. All animals do.
Yes. Nobody's going to hurt you, kitty. No. How about some milk, huh? Yes. There, you see? Oh, you must have been very hungry.
Yes.
Hey, what's your name, huh?
I don't suppose he has a name. He is so young. I don't think he belongs to anybody.
Well, then we have to give him a name.
You mean we can keep him?
Keep him? What are you talking about? He has no home. We can't turn him out in the streets, can we?
Oh, Charles, I was hoping you'd let him stay.
Of course, but he must have a name. Yes, let's see. Oh, you're so black. Yes, all black. Beautiful. Not a single white mark. Oh, I have him. He's as black as the devil. Let's call him Pluto. Huh? Yes, we'll call you Pluto. Well, Pluto grew up to be a remarkably beautiful cat, and of all the animals in our house, he became my favorite and my playmate, yes, and until it all changed, yes, and as the years went on, my character suffered a radical change, and everything changed. Huh? Why? Well, I'm ashamed. I hate to admit it. Through intemperance, yes, through intemperance. And then as drink became more and more necessary to me, I became more and more moody and irritable.
Where are you going?
I don't have to tell you where I'm going.
Oh, Charles, what's happening
What do you
to
mean, what's happening to me?
Well, you never used to go out every night to those vile
Please
places.
stop nagging. Stop it. I go out because I can't stand listening to you. Nag, nag, nag all day long.
I don't know what's come over you.
There. See? Why don't you learn from Pluto? It's only a cat. He doesn't ask me where I'm going. Yeah, that's right. You never do, no. Come here, Pluto. Yes, I like it. Come here.
Be careful, Charles. Don't pick him up like that. Don't.
I'm
You're
not
hurting
hurting him. I never hurt him. Ow! He bit me. He bit me. You devil. I'll show you.
Don't, Charles. Don't.
I'll show you, you beast. Yes, I hate to admit it, but I was so furious I kicked Pluto, and I kicked him again and hard, and well, the next morning I saw that his ear was torn, and I was filled with remorse for what I'd done. From then on, Pluto ran away in terror whenever I approached, and that in turn made me more and more irritated, and in the end it was sheer perverseness, nothing else, yes. Sheer and unexplainable perverseness that made me do what I did. Yeah. I blush to admit it, but one morning I strangled the poor animal. Yeah, I killed it only because I knew that it had loved me and because it had given me no reason for offense. No, I'm offering no excuse. I'm only recounting what happened. Well, in the evening, I went to the inn as usual, and I came home very late, and I fell fast asleep with my clothes on. Then I was awakened suddenly. Hey, what's the matter here?
Charles, wake up!
What?
Charles!
What's the matter?
There must be a fire.
Yes,
I smell smoke.
Good heavens! It's our house!
Oh.
Our house is burning! Come on, darling, come. We'll be trapped. Come on, hurry up. Quick. The stairs are on fire. Everything.
I can't.
Don't talk, sweetheart. Perhaps I can get you through the flames. Don't breathe, darling. Here's the front door. Here. We made it. We're safe.
Oh, Charles. Look, our house.
Hey, anybody else in there?
No. Nobody else.
It's just as well. Never could get them out now. Are you the owner?
Yes. That was our house.
Well, you haven't got much left then. We can't save it now.
Stand back, everybody. The roof's gonna fall in. Stand back.
Get back.
There it goes.
Well, it's down now.
Funny, nothing is left but that one wall in the middle.
Look at it.
What about it?
Well, look at it on the wall.
Hey, that is strange.
What are you talking about? What's strange?
Oh, there on the wall. It's still standing.
Marks on the plaster.
Marks?
Huh?
What marks?
What's the matter? You blind? Right up there on the wall, that black figure.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like a cat.
Yeah, it does. The smoke must have done it, but it certainly does look like a cat.
What looks like a cat?
There, and it's got one floppy ear.
Who's got a floppy ear?
That's really funny.
Funny, huh? It's not funny. It is not funny at all, you hear? I know what it is. You know who it is? Yes, it's Pluto. I recognize him. Yes, there, see? His ear is torn, huh? Oh, you beast. That hideous beast. It's come back to haunt me. Leave me alone. You hear? I can't stand it. I can't.
Get some water, somebody. This man's fainted.
Mr. Peter Lorre will bring us the climax of tonight's Mystery in the Air.
We told you Mystery in the Air was a summer series replacing Abbott and Costello. What we didn't tell you is that Abbott and Costello would be gone after this summer series. They would not return. They would instead go to ABC for their concluding couple of years on radio. Mystery in the Air, September 18th, 1947 on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thanks for tuning in.
Has someone in your family lost a job recently, and now you can't afford your mortgage payment? Or do you have a rental property and your tenants aren't paying you? We can come to the rescue and pay you cash for your home immediately. Yes, sell your home and get cash all over the phone without dealing with real estate agents or having to waste time showing your home to lukewarm buyers. You don't need to lose your house to foreclosure. If you have equity in your home, we'll buy your home and give you cash within days, all in a simple over-the-phone and virtual process. Call now before your situation gets worse. Sell a home you can't afford or just need anymore and get the cash you need today. Call this number now.
800-477-4612. 800-477-4612. 800-477-4612. That's 800-477-4612. Paid for by Want to Sell.
Thanks for spending part of your Sunday with us here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We're listening to an episode of Mystery in the Air, The Black Cat, starring Peter Lorre, as it was broadcast on Thursday, September 18th, 1947. In the newspapers of that Thursday, 75 years ago, these were some of the headlines. Secretary of State Marshall making a slashing attack on Russia seized the initiative yesterday in the United Nations Assembly with a bold new plan to rebuild the deadlocked UN peace machinery. To the obvious surprise and confusion of the entire Russian delegation, Marshall proposed a curb on the big power veto and creation of a little assembly commission to maintain everlasting vigilance over world peace. Russia lost little time, however, in banging back at Marshall on the Greek question, Marshall asking the Assembly to send a commission to Greece to investigate the Balkan situation. Russia then demanded in a hot afternoon meeting of the steering committee that the Assembly refuse to discuss the whole Greek case. Russia contending that leaving the Greek case before the delegates might lead to further aggravation in the Balkans. The committee voted 12-2, with Russia and Poland dissenting, to recommend the Assembly consider the Greek question. Cuba and Britain spoke in support of the U.S. demand that the case be heard. The end of the long Overall murder trial in California came in sight last night as George Gollum, Husky defendant, denied flatly any part in the slaying of his girlfriend's parents, and, a surprise move, was permitted to leave the witness stands after 10 minutes of cross-examination. The end of Gollum's testimony came with a suddenness that caught defense counsel by surprise. During examination by the state, the big blonde pre-med student was pounded with questions by Assistant Attorney General Eugene D. Williams. To each, he gave firm, unwavering answers. Gollum and his college sweetheart Louise Oberell, charged with murdering her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Walter E. Oberell, aboard the latter's yacht, the Mary E., in Newport Harbor last March 15th, then shattering it with a dynamite blast to cover the crime. Obviously concerned over rising food prices at home, the government yesterday slashed the amount of grain destined for shipment abroad during November. The amount of grain allocated for shipment in that month was cut 35% below the October allocation and 43% below the monthly average for the July-October period. This action, it was indicated, was taken to give officials time to review domestic supply and to determine future export policies. Meanwhile, President Truman, homeward bound from South America, called upon by two prominent Republicans to lead the nation in voluntary action to combat high living costs. Candidate for the GOP presidential nomination, Harold E. Stassen, said in a nationwide speech in New York that, and we're quoting, "A nationwide coordinated voluntary food conservation program is needed at once, for which only the president and the government can provide the leadership." The much-heralded Atlantic hurricane smashed into the Florida East Coast with impressive power, but the expected devastation of 160-mile-an-hour winds down to 110 by 0 hour, the destruction will mount to millions and includes mostly sign, trees, and inundation. The Associated Press reporting the hurricane, the heaviest of a decade, roared savagely across South Florida, devastating a wide belt of citrus groves and vegetable farms. Property damage estimated in the millions, but even at that, devastation was not as heavy as had been feared. And those some of the day's top news stories as reported in the newspapers of Thursday, September 18th, 1947, on your radio, Mystery in the Air, starring Peter Lorre. The conclusion next on this Sunday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-772-6113. 800-772-6113. 800-772-6113. That's 800-772-6113.
We'll start off the new week on Monday's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox with an episode of radio's outstanding theater of thrill suspense. From 76 years ago, September 19th, 1946, Dane Clark, starring in a program entitled Till the Day I Die. A killer and his maul are holed up after pulling a job and killing a man. The dead man looks exactly like the killer, and with good reason. That'll be coming up on Monday's Classic Radio Theater. But now the conclusion of Mystery in the Air, starring Peter Lorre, 75 years ago today, September 18th, 1947, The Black Cat.
The black cat is dead, killed by its master. The house is burned to the ground, with everything in it completely destroyed. Now the scene is the almost deserted, candle-lit tap room of a local inn.
Don't you think you'd better go on home, sir? It's getting late.
Home, huh? You should see the terrible place where we're living now.
Yeah, I heard you. Lost everything in that fire.
Lost everything? Yes, I lost everything. I lost my house. I lost everything.
Well, How about that black cat of yours you used to talk about all the time?
Huh?
What was his name?
What was his name? Pluto.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Pluto's gone too. Oh, I tell you, I miss him. I miss him very much.
And if you miss him that much, why don't you get another cat?
Give me a drink.
It's getting pretty late, sir. I mean, well, won't your wife be expecting you?
Give me a drink.
Yes, sir. I'll have to fetch another bottle.
Why don't I get another cat, huh? That's what you said. Well, why don't I? No reason I shouldn't. There's no reason to be in the deeps of despair just because of a cat. If I get another cat, maybe I'll be able to forget her. What's that? Oh, there's a cat now. Yes, it's sitting on top of the table. Black cat, huh? That's strange. I've been staring at that table for 5 minutes. I could swear there was no cat on it. Anyway, where did you come from, huh? Oh, you're a beautiful cat, yes. You're just as black as Pluto. Yeah, except you got a splotch of white on your chest. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Oh, yes, come sit on my lap, huh? Oh, yeah. Kitty, yes, you're a nice kitty. You're a nice cat.
Yeah. Here you are, sir.
Where did this cat come from?
Cat? Oh, yeah. Yeah, big one, isn't he? I don't know where it came from, or how it got in either, for that matter. Never seen it around here before.
Don't know what it belongs to?
No. As far as I'm concerned, it belongs to you if you want it. Can't keep it here. My wife doesn't like cats, especially black ones.
Don't like cats, huh? How stupid. Yeah. See, I want it. Yes, I want it very much. I'll take it home with me right now.
Charles, this is such a wonderful cat. Just since last week, it's made itself so much at home. Well, you'd think it had lived here always.
Yes, I've noticed that.
It reminds me so much of Pluto.
Yes, but this one has a patch of white on its chest. Don't forget that.
Yes, that's right, dear. But I can't help wondering. I wonder what ever became of Pluto. He disappeared the day of the fire.
I know he disappeared, and... well, maybe he knew the house was going to burn down.
Oh, see how it loves you. It's rubbing against your leg, just the way Pluto used to.
Pluto! Stop talking about Pluto!
Darling, I didn't mean anything. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dear. All this talk about how much this new cat resembles Pluto, it just makes me nervous. Look, actually, there's hardly any resemblance at all, really. Except that they're both black. This one has a white patch on its chest and...
Oh, the poor thing. Charles, look, his ear is torn.
Huh?
See?
What?
Here under the fur. Oh, I never noticed that before.
Neither did I.
Why, it's just the way Pluto's... I mean...
Go ahead, say it. It's torn, yes. Just the way Pluto's ear was torn when I kicked him, huh? That's it, isn't it?
Well, he must have been in a fight or something. But it's curious we didn't notice it.
Curious, huh? You have no idea how curious it is. No idea. Get that cat out of my sight.
Charles, you're mad.
Get it out.
How can you act that way about a poor dumb animal?
Take it
Especially
out
one that
here.
loves you so much. Oh, now you're frightened,
Get
dear.
away from me, you hear me?
The way you talk, anybody'd think you don't even like the poor cat.
It, huh? Like it. I hate it. I tell you, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Yes, in a short time the cat had been with us. I'd come to look upon it with unutterable loathing. Why, I don't know, yet the more I hated it, the more affectionate it acted toward me. Wherever I went, it followed. Whenever I sat down, it would spring upon my knees and cover me with its loathsome caresses, as if this were not enough to white patch on its chest, which originally it had been very indefinite in shape, but gradually it assumed a very definite outline, yes, the unmistakable and ghastly shape of the gallows, a terrible engine of horror, of agony, and of death. I longed to destroy the beast, but I was prevented by an absolute, unreasonable dread. I was sure I was losing my mind.
Charles, are you going out again?
Yes, I'm going out. I don't know when I'll be back.
Oh. Before you go, do you suppose you...
Why, what is it?
Will you help me bring up some wood from the cellar?
Why do you always want more wood?
The house is cold. You know I haven't been feeling well. I'm not strong enough to carry it myself.
Strong enough. All right, come on, I'll help you. You might have thought of this before.
Look out!
What? Oh, that's Cat. That's that beast again. It's always under my feet. It tried to trip me on the stairs.
Oh, no, I'm sure it did.
I'll get rid of that beast once and for all. I'll get...
Charles! Put down that crowbar.
Get out of my way.
No, stop.
I say get out of my way. Let go of my arm.
Please, Charles, you
let
don't
go
know what
of
you're
my
doing.
arm. Are you going to let go?
Oh, please.
I said let go. Oh. Why didn't you let me go? Yes, she'd fallen dead without a groan. My blind rage, my rage against the cat, I'd struck my wife and killed her. Well, nothing I can do about it now. All I could do was to set myself to the task of concealing the body. Yes, I thought and I deliberated, and then it occurred to me that, yes, in the Middle Ages, they used to wall up their victims, and I determined to do the same thing. Yes, behind the wall in a cellar. I managed to dislodge a section of bricks near the chimney, and in a hole behind them I propped the body. Then I carefully laid the bricks back in their original position, and when I had finished, no one could have told that the wall had been disturbed at all. Well, I could say to myself triumphantly, here at least, my labor has not been in vain. My next step then was to look for the beast that had been a cause of so much misery, but then I became aware that it had completely disappeared. 3 days passed, and still my tormentor did not appear. Oh, it's impossible to describe or to imagine the deep sense of my relief. For the first time in months, I slept, yes. I slept, even with a burden of murder on my soul. Yes, some few inquiries were made about my wife's whereabouts, and a search of the house was conducted, but nothing was discovered. Oh, I finally could look upon my future secure. Yes?
Good day, sir. Sorry to disturb you again, sir.
Oh, it's you, Sergeant. Is there anything I can do for you?
Well, they're still puzzled about your wife's disappearance.
Puzzled, huh? Well, so am I.
Well, some of her friends have been around to the police station.
What's that got to do with me, huh? You've already searched the house twice. What do you want?
Well, I know, sir, but, well, the captain sent me and the constable here to look around just once more, to be sure there's no clues been overlooked. This will be the last time, sir. Only a matter of routine. We won't bother you again.
All right. Come in.
Thank you, sir. Come on, Joe.
Right. Where would you like to look first?
Well, we might as well begin with the cellar.
Cellar, huh? All right, yes. Right down these steps. I'll come with you.
Yes, I always say searching a house is like getting ahead in the world. You start at the bottom.
Yes, I see. It's very funny.
Well, come on, Constable. Get to work.
Right.
While they searched, I folded my arms and watched. As before, they discovered nothing but as they were about to depart, the glee in my heart was too strong to be restrained. I burned to say but one word, yes, just one word, by way of triumph. And as they started up the steps, I said, say, have you noticed, this is a very well-constructed house, you know. Hey, gentlemen, you're not going, huh? Yes, it's an excellently well-constructed house. You've never seen such a well-constructed house in a frenzy of my bravado upon that very portion of the brickwork behind which stood the corpse of my wife. I rapped with my cane. Let me heaven deliver me from the arch-fiend. What was that?
Mother of mercy, what was that?
Wind, probably.
Wind? That's not the wind. It came when you hit this wall here.
Whatever it is, it's behind these bricks, Sarge.
Here, take this crowbar and knock that wall down.
Right.
Wait a minute, you...
Keep quiet,
you can't do this.
Wait a minute, where are you going?
Upstairs.
You stay right here.
Hey, this is new plaster. It hasn't even had time to set yet.
Pull it down.
Right. Here she comes. Look out.
Oh. There's what we're looking for, all right. His wife's body.
What's that horrible-looking thing sitting on her head?
It's a cat.
How did that cat get in there?
I know how it got in there. Yes, I know. I must have walled it up in a tomb, and I never knew it, no. Look at that red mouth. Those burning eyes. You hideous, you beast, you monster, you are the devil. You made me a murderer. Now for 3 days you've been in there, waiting to send me to the gallows. Well, the hangman will get me. Yes, I hope you're satisfied. I hope you're satisfied.
Next week, Mystery in the Air, starring Mr. Peter Lorre, brings you an adaptation of one of our star's greatest motion pictures, Crime and Punishment, based on the book by Fyodor Dostoevsky, with a special musical score composed and conducted by Paul Barron.
From 75 years ago, September 18th, 1947, Peter Lorre and Mystery in the Air here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit my webpage, classicradio.stream. There you can stream our shows on demand. If you miss a day, you don't have to miss a show. You can also find locations where our programs are available on demand and download. You can also learn about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can find our social media links, and if you're so inclined, you can buy me a coffee. The Buy Me a Coffee money goes to help us add additional classic radio theater collections for you to hear on this program. Thank you so much for listening. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station. Have a great week ahead, won't you?